Hey guys, what's going on? Real CS here. Harmless killing fun. Some scavenger in the background. Gameplay I do pretty well. I guess you'll have to wait and see how well I do at the end, but I hold my own. Anyway, today I want to talk about perception in gaming in general and my personal perception on gaming, and also about what I feel is, in my opinion, is the difference between multiplayer and single player. And the first one is I'll talk about the multiplayer and the single player first. Um, Pretty much all I want to say is the difference is um, when you're in an environment like single player and you're doing a campaign and you're doing certain things and it's all about tweaking to your liking. You know what I mean? Like an easy difficulty or a medium difficulty or a hard difficulty. Just depends on what kind of a gamer you are. And, you know, that's where I see a lot of people having fun with games. They're not necessarily good at the games, but they enjoy the games. They enjoy them at at their own pace. You don't have to live up to some sort of pace. It's pretty, it's however slow or fast you want to make it. Um, the way that I see multiplayer is it's set to a certain tone, and when you step into multiplayer, it's like stepping on a grenade. You know, when you go to, FPSs, obviously we're doing a BattleRANT, so we're going to talk mainly about Battlefield, but when you go into, sports games, or you go into racing games or whatever, like, it is do or die. You have to get in there with your, pretty much, you know, like, what's the dude from Jamaica? I can't remember his name. Anyway, Bolt. Yeah, Usain Bolt or whatever. You're gonna pretty much have to turn into Usain. It's gonna feel like that anyway, turning into Usain Bolt. But anyway, that's about it. But pretty much what I'm saying is, it's also not set at a difficulty level. It is at one specific level. You come in, it's you against the other guy, and I've said this stuff time and time again, that it's all about instinct versus instinct. It's like animal versus animal, and single player is not like that. Single player is whatever you want it to be based on whatever game, you're playing. But multiplayer, it's just you, or supposed to be, and that's what this channel is all about. But it's supposed to be you against the other person, just, in the dirt. Instinct versus instinct, reflex versus reflex, you know what I mean? And that's the way that, I kind of pump myself up to play. When I get really into the groove while I'm playing and stuff, that's the way I feel. And that'll, bring me to my next topic, which was my perception on gaming. And fully immersing myself in a game is exactly what I want to do. Not only because I want to fulfill, fulfill my needs, but I also want to play the game for what the developers had hoped I would do. You know what I mean? Play the game that they wanted me to play, and stick to what they want me to do. And for some games, it's more exploration, so they leave a lot more up to you, like sandbox games. And, you make your own strategy and you figure out your own paths. And then there's other ones that are much more linear. And whatever the game may be, I'm just saying that I would say that, what's the easiest way to say this, that you confine yourself to that game. When you play that game and you you forget about everything else in the room. I've been in a room where, like, and I'm a very perceptive person, and when I'm in a room and I am so into a game, sometimes, holy crap, you know what I mean? Like, I forget where the fuck I am, and that's a good game. You know what I mean? There's some games that never get you that involved, and games like Battlefield are the type of game that does that to me. And that's why I say, like, if I put my sensitivity up so high, because I've been, you know, I'll talk about sensitivity because I've been talking about it in my feed, and I put out a challenge and stuff, and so the thing is with the sensitivity, if I'm not comfortable with something, then I'm not going to play out of my comfortable, you know, zone. Playing in my comfort zone to do with, you know, certain things, it's not really good to change those because you can't control them like controls. Whereas in the game, you can change the way you run into the place. You can choose another path. You can choose a different instrument to use. You can choose many different methods, and a lot of people, I find, they choose to customize something on their hardware or gloves, or they have like Call of Duty glasses and stuff like that, and it's just some way to physically enhance you to be like a robot or something. And that's what I'm talking about, is watching these videos where it's like crazy sensitivity all over the place. It looks like you're panicking half the time, and this is what we look to when we're playing Call of Duty. Like, I don't want to play that crap. I don't want to watch that crap. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying, is you can play whatever way you want, but I honestly don't think that this is your comfort zone. And I've met a few people that, like, I've talked to a few people that this seems to be their comfort zone, and I'm not so sure that it is their comfort zone. And even to, I don't know, if I was so exhausted with a game that everything in the game I couldn't play anymore because I've just used it to death, and like, the last thing I'd be doing is like trying to change my sensitivity so it can spin around like a fucking weirdo. Like, I'd be going to a different game. What, you can't afford a different game? You can, you know, like, you just want to play this game and you just want, like, to get like more of like some sort of superhero. Like, I'm a fan of superheroes and stuff, but there's a time and place. That's what I'm talking about with games, is it's all about perceiving that one game and isolating that one game and feeling that one game when you're playing it, not thinking about other shit. You know what I mean? And that's, you know, I've said that in my BattleRANTs before about stats and shit. People focus more on the stats, so thinking about their stats. It's like me when I first started getting my PVR. Like, I was thinking about getting kills, like getting like crazy kills and shit to make sure that I got good videos and shit. And it's just like, what the fuck? Just play the way that you play, and if people like it, then people like it. You know what I mean? And that was what I wanted in the first place. But I will admit it, like, obviously I did try to get good stuff. I was very critical of myself. Like, I don't ever want to put out a false title. That's what this whole channel was based on, was, you know, honesty and playing games the right way, and, you know what I mean, like, having passion for the game, like, people that really have passion for the game. This is who I want to hear this stuff. Like, all these people that I talk to on the feed that are just weird and shit, like, you know, some of those people are just screwed up, and I don't know what kind of shit they've heard from other people. And I hear some bad information on YouTube and on the threads, and, you know, everywhere all the time. And it doesn't mean that you have to take that bad stuff. It doesn't mean that you have to be tempted by all that crap. You know, like, if you want to boost your sensitivity up, that's cool, but, like, I don't know, that's pretty crazy. Like, it doesn't look like you're in your comfort zone at all. It really doesn't. And I find it hard to believe. But if you guys say that you guys can, then obviously I think that Battlefield and games as itself obviously have to do something about their sensitivity. Because if somebody can put it up to the max, like, isn't that kind of weird that, you know, they have a max sensitivity? And usually max sensitivity on everything, like on a volume, max sensitivity always means too much. You know what I mean? Like, I like loud music, but I don't know. It's just crazy. And I'm not taking back anything I say. Like, don't get this twisted. This is not me saying, like, oh, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, like, I bow to these guys and stuff. Like, sure, if you can play like that, that's great. But what I see in your videos, all it looks like is a disaster. And one guy actually sent me a video, and his video wasn't too bad. It was more, he was moving his body more than his gun, which was alright. But it's still, it looked like a lot of panic situations. He did well and stuff, but it looked like a lot of panic situations. It didn't look like he was comfortable. I saw it with like 4 or 5 of my like my friends and stuff, and we're just sitting there watching it, and it didn't really look comfortable at all. Like, is this what, is this the comfort zone? Like, I don't know. Is my, I know where my comfort zone is, and I still play well. I don't know. Like, some of my stats are kind of weird, but they're all legit, and you know, I sacrifice myself for the team, and everything's really, you know, I'm really passionate about my gaming, and I think that's the most important thing about having fun, and you know, I'm not overly aggressively a passion. It's just, you gotta love gaming, right? Real CS. Take it easy, guys.